Dear friends, today we will have a small briefing on various products in banks for development of agriculture. The word agriculture came from a Latin word which means tillage of field. Okay, in India, cultivation is being done since 7000 BC, that is growing wheat, barley, etc. And about 60 to 70% of our population still depends on agriculture, and agriculture contribute lot of amount to the GDP after services and industries, and almost 10% of our exports are from agriculture segment. And the agriculture is not only giving food grains but also giving raw material for various industries. For example, cotton, it is for textile industry, and sugar cane, it is for sugar industry. And besides, I have given in my previous video about the importance of the agriculture and other activities in agriculture. That link I am providing here, and you can see that video also. And here please note it, despite the structural change, agriculture still remains key sector, providing both employment and livelihood opportunities more than 60% of the country's population. This is one of the important. So we should not neglect agriculture. We should not forget the rural strength. Almost 80% of the households and 65% of the income is from rural and semi-urban areas. Still, there is lot of potential for credit from the banks. So credit requirement is very good and potential in rural areas. So here there is an opportunity to develop various products to the suitable needs of the farmers, so as to develop their economy as well as country's economy. NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD. Here, NABARD is playing a vital role in agricultural development. One is, its objective is planning and development aspects in the field of credit to agriculture and rural development. Second one, provides short-term and medium-term credit to the state cooperative banks and regional rural banks and other agri-finance institutions. And it also provides long-term credit to above mentioned institutions and also commercial banks. Is also functions as regulatory authority for cooperative banks and RRBs. Another important duty of the NABARD is it sets techno-economic parameters for the banks and other institutions to follow the unit costs. Usually, the banks will follow the unit cost provided by the NABARD for various agriculture term loans. These are classified into two categories. One is direct advances, second one is indirect agriculture advances. Direct advances are those which are sanctioned directly to the agriculturist without any intermediary agency. Whereas indirect agriculture advances are sanctioned to agencies for onward lending to agriculturists and also retailers of agro inputs, services, power supply, cooperative societies, etc. Before going to what are the products we can develop in agriculture, we have to see what will come under short term and long term. So here short term loans means it is for crop production, it is for 1 year only, and then produce marketing scheme and agriculture jewelry loans, and also loans to meet working capital requirement and allied activities and plantation crops, tea, coffee, rubber, coconut, all these things short term finance will give for their production purpose. That means for fertilizers, pesticides and all these things. Then investment credit, this is called as term loan also. That is one for on-farm development. Then farm power and mechanization, that is tractors, etc. Then horticulture and plantation crops, Then allied activities, dairy and poultry, etc. And marketing and storage for rural godowns. Then other any miscellaneous activities we can finance for investment credit, that is called as term loan. So in agriculture, two types will be there. One is short term loan, second one is long term loan. These are some of the products. Seasons in agriculture. One is Kharif. Usually it will be June to November. Major crop production in Kharif only. Then second one is Rabi. That is October to April. Okay. Then summer crop. That is January to May. So three seasons, but main production is Kharif and Rabi. So let us see the crop loan or short term loan. Here we can divide the crop loan into two categories. One is cash component, second one is kind component. And nowadays the kind component also will be given to the farmers directly to their account. Here what happens in the cash component is, why it is required is, it is required for cost of labor, cost of machines hired, and cost of animals, and water and power charges, and plowing and preparation of land, harvesting, all these things they require cash. And in kind component, for seed cost, pesticides, fertilizers and other chemicals, and weedicides. Weedicides means any weeds are there, they have to remove. Here scale of finance is available for each crop in each district. So the scale of finance is provided by the district consultative committee. And what it contains, what is seed cost, what is fertilizer cost, and what are the labor expenses, and what are the harvesting expenses, etc. They will give in detail for each crop. So the banker can adopt this scale of finance, and they can give at 10 to 15% discretion to the farmers depending upon their need. And here please note it, the appraisal should be perfect, that is pre and post sanction should be contributed. Let us see some banks, they are developing farmer credit cards, that is for farmers they are giving credit cards. Here main example is the farmer credit card. It is a comprehensive scheme, whatever their requirements of the farmers. And one more thing, that means for fertilizers they can use that card, or pesticides they can use that card, or some labor expenses they can withdraw the money. All these things they can do in respect of the farmer credit card. And one more thing, here the banker has to arrive what is the production cost of the specific crops which the farmer is growing. So here the maximum limit during the production cycle to be fixed as the limit, and let the farmer to utilize, and at the end let them pay the money. Okay, this is a simple card developed by some banks, that is farmer credit card. Let us see the production credit assessment of crop loan. And farmer is having 5 acres irrigated land, and he want to grow paddy crop. Here scale of finance is 30,000 per acre. So if he is having 5 acres, he requires around 1,50,000 per acre for Kharif and 1,50,000 for Rabi. So total his requirement is 3 lakhs. So let us see the projected cash flow statement. Here month wise we have to calculate how the projected cash flow will be there. And in Kharif, in June month, he may spend only 1,50,000 is sufficient. Like that we have to calculate. In the month of November, he requires for Kharif 1,50,000 and Rabi also 1,50,000. Okay, this amount he has to spend like this. This is projected cash flow statement. June, July, August, September, October, November, that is for Kharif. And Rabi, November, December, January, February, March, April. Okay. And here what we have to take is allied working capital, that is for feeding of the animals and etc. Some amount feeding of the animals of, that is bullocks etc. we can give another question 5,000, and we have to calculate total production credit like this, and then contingencies, that is immediate requirement 20% of the peak limit, that is 305, 20% 61,000. Then any ancillary requirement, some equipment, etc. So 9,000. Let us calculate like this and arrive the projected cash flow statement like this. So the repayment will be after 2 months of crop harvest. We can fix the repayment period and we can recover the loan amount. Further, in addition to the existing limit in farmer's credit card, sometimes the farmers require more than that because there is a pest attack and immediately they require money. So in that case, instant credit also can be provided to the farmers depending upon their needs. Let us see small briefing on gold loan to the farmers. This is a beautiful product. Here the farmers will pledge the gold ornaments and take a loan and use it for crop production purpose. And once they receive the crop, they will repay the loan. Here what happens, their immediate requirement, immediately they can pledge the gold ornaments and they can release the gold ornaments once the crops are harvested. Here the bankers also will follow liberalized guidelines and concession rate of interest to the farmers. And one more thing, here the gold loans are appraised by the gold appraiser, and on the basis of the appraiser and as per their requirement for crop production, the loan will be given. To avoid distressed sale of crops once harvested, some banks are extending loans to the farmers for storage of their food grades or horticulture crops. Here what happens, they can store in any godown or at their house, and a loan can be given by the banks to support them, and if prices increases, they can sell the produce. The agriculture term loans. What are the agriculture term loans? Let us see what are the agriculture term loans. One is on-farm development, that is land-based activities. Then farm power and mechanization and equipment. Third one is horticulture, plantation crops and social forestry. Then allied activities, that is dairy, poultry, etc. Then marketing and storage and other miscellaneous. All these we can finance under agriculture term loan, and we will see some of the products here. One is on-farm development. In on-farm development, it includes development of minor irrigation schemes, that is well sinking, bore wells, and land development, and laying of pipelines, and irrigation, and pump sets, electric and diesel pump sets, and micro irrigation. That is, micro irrigation is nothing but that is sprinklers and drip irrigation. All these will come under on-farm development. Then, while sanctioning the loans for minor irrigation, availability of the groundwater should be ensured. That is, whether sufficient water is available in the ground level, we have to ensure. As per the geologist survey, the areas are classified into, one is dark area, second one is grey area, third one is white area. The field officer should know what are those areas. Dark area means no further exploitation of water, and grey area means a groundwater may be exploited to a limited extent. Here the field officer use his discretion for financing minor irrigation. And white area, there are no restrictions. That means you can go ahead for minor irrigation project. And wherever in grey areas, it is better to have a sprinkler irrigation, drip irrigation, like that. selection of proper pump set is very important. The first one is centrifugal pump. It can be used at various dug wells and small wells. And next one is turbine pump. It is used in respect of the lift irrigation schemes wherever canals are there. Then submersible pumps. This is most important pump set nowadays everybody is using. This is used in bore wells where water table is very depth, you have to go for water table. There you can use submersible pump. The pump set will be inside the tube well. In sprinkler irrigation, different types of nozzles are used. This is drip irrigation. It is widely used now. Wherever water scarcity, you can use this drip irrigation and get good crop yield. Nutrient distribution pattern. You can see with the surface irrigation, many nutrients will go inside the soil and they are not available for plants. Whereas in drip irrigation, it is localized, and drip fertigation, it will be uniform. You can see the fertilizer as well as water also you can apply to the plants, and there will be uniform application will be there, fertilizer as well as water in respect of drip irrigation. Please see the benefits obtained through drip irrigation. All these are the benefits. You can see savings of irrigation water up to 70% and crop yield enhancement 100%. Please see fertilizer use efficiency by using drip irrigation. Here from drip and fertigation 95% of the nitrogen will be used. Please see, and phosphorus 45% and potash 80%. So maximum efficient utilization of fertilizers by the drip irrigation is possible. Let us see the unit cost of drip irrigation. It varies from crop to crop depending upon the spacing of the crop as well as number of plants per acre, and the spacing is like this: mango 10 into 10, coconut 8 into 8. All these things we have to calculate and we have to estimate the cost of drip irrigation for each crop.